The Discovery, Deep Space Station Argo, 0300 hours. Lieutenant Callum Drake had fallen asleep at his desk again. It wasn't unusual. 16-hour shifts on a deep space monitoring station had a way of flattening even the most disciplined soldier into something resembling a pile of laundry. His cheek was pressed against a stack of navigation reports, his coffee cold and forgotten beside him. What was unusual was the weight on his chest. He woke slowly, the way people do when their body knows something is wrong before their mind catches up. His eyes opened. He looked down. Two small creatures, no larger than human infants, were curled against him, one nestled in the hollow below his collarbone, the other tucked against his ribs. Their skin was a deep iridescent violet, faintly luminescent in the dark room. Their breathing was slow and synchronized, tiny chests rising and falling in perfect rhythm with his own heartbeat. Delicate gill-like structures along their necks fluttered softly with each exhale. They were, without question, the most alien things Callum had ever seen. They were also, without question, completely peaceful. He did not move. He was not entirely sure he was still breathing. The alert. By 0400 hours, Station Argo was not peaceful at all. Every comm channel had exploded simultaneously. Admiral Voss was shouting from the command deck. The station's external sensors had picked up a vessel, not Coalition, not any registered design, holding position just beyond weapons range. It was enormous. The size of a city block, organic in shape, its hull dark and living, pulsing faintly like something with a heartbeat of its own. Xenobiologist Dr. Then Okafor reached Callum's quarters first, nearly kicking the door off its hinges. He stopped dead in the doorway. Callum sat perfectly still in his chair, both small creatures now fully visible on his chest, sleeping without a care in the universe. His expression was somewhere between terror and a strange, helpless tenderness. "Don't," Callum whispered, "make any loud noises." Fenn stared. His scanner was in his hand, but he couldn't bring himself to raise it. "Are those?" "I don't know what they are. They were here when I woke up." Fenn stepped closer, slowly, and crouched to eye level. The creature's luminescence pulsed faintly, in exact sync with Callum's heartbeat, which was now visible on the medical monitor clipped to the wall behind him. He hadn't even noticed he'd been wearing it. "Their biology is synchronizing with yours," Fenn breathed. "They chose you as a host rhythm, a living anchor." He finally raised his scanner, keeping his movements glacial. "Callum. These markings on their shoulders." He enlarged the scan image. "I've seen this symbol on the incoming vessel." A long pause. "That ship," Ben said quietly, "has been broadcasting a distress signal for 6 hours. In 17 different languages." He looked up. "It translates to the same thing in all of them." Callum closed his eyes. "Tell me. Return our daughters." The Queen. The negotiation took 4 hours and nearly ended twice. The being who materialized in the station's diplomatic bay was unlike anything in the xenological database. Tall, draped in bioluminescent tissue that served as both clothing and communication, the alien queen moved like water given intention. Her eyes, 6 of them, arranged in a crown across her brow, were fixed entirely on Callum the moment she entered. Admiral Voss had prepared a speech. She never got to give it. The Queen crossed the bay in 12 steps and stopped directly in front of Callum, who was holding both sleeping daughters against his chest in a carry position that Fenn had carefully arranged to avoid waking them. The Queen leaned down. She studied her daughters' faces. She studied Callum's. The room held its breath. Then the Queen did something no one had anticipated. She placed one long, luminescent hand, gently, deliberately, flat against Callum's chest, beside her sleeping daughters. She closed her eyes. She was reading his heartbeat, measuring it, comparing it to her own. When she opened her eyes again, she spoke. The translation came through the station system half a second later, in a voice like deep ocean current. You kept them warm. You did not run. You did not wake them. Callum swallowed. They looked like they needed the sleep. The 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Then later swore it was the alien equivalent of a smile. What was left behind? The daughters were transferred with extraordinary care. The Queen departed without incident. The enormous vessel turned slowly and vanished into the dark between stars. Station Argo filed 17 reports that week. None of them captured what Callum found on his desk the morning after. A single object, left behind, no larger than his thumbnail. A small luminescent stone, violet and warm, pulsing faintly, in rhythm with his heartbeat. He kept it in his chest pocket every shift from that day forward.